So, one of the things that I really love is weekly releases. When I watch something on Netflix, you more or less sit down and you go from start to finish in an entire day. And it's a lot to unpack with somebody else the following day that's in like that fandom. For me, with the shows releasing on their weekly schedule, it allows not only the people in the comment section, I fucking love you guys. I love like all the questions and all the theories that show up underneath all my different videos. But it allows for that week of everyone going insane with like all their different theories. Like WandaVision had Mephisto, and then people believe that Captain America and the Skrulls were going to show up in Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I love it. I love it all. So, that being said, this past week I had a theory that it wasn't female Loki that we were seeing, but it was a female version of Thor. And I sat down with a group of friends, and another one of my friends was like, yeah, I can see how, there's a chance that that could be a female version of Thor from the time war that the Timekeepers were said to have stopped. But he was like, what if it's Enchantress? And it got me going. It got my mind going. Because it would answer a lot in regards to her powers. We see that she has the ability of manipulation. When she touches people, she can more or less not only control their thoughts, but their movements as well. She more or less speaks through them like a conduit. Then they walk up and they touch somebody else, and then the control jumps from them to the other person, and the previous host more or less passes out. Which Loki asks a question as if he doesn't understand how the magic works. He asks, is she dead, when she was controlling the female officer? And female Loki responds, they don't usually die. Which instantly tells me that this is a power that she's using that Loki's not familiar with. And we see that Loki has a level of familiarity when it comes to not only his Asgardian magic, but Asgardian magic in general. When he was more or less explaining the differences between astral projection, well, not astral projection, like a physical projection, and then a mirror duplicate, where he was like, a physical projection is just a copy of yourself that you just project over into another area, whereas a complete duplicate is creating a walking, talking, molecular copy of yourself that, once injured in any way, shape, or form, will break down. I absolutely love that break. I'm a nerd. I love when like superheroes and heroes or villains go in depth when it comes to their powers. Now, why could it be Enchantress? Or what are some of the hints that it may be Enchantress? Number one, like I said earlier, her ability to control people just by touching them. The second one is the fact that she absolutely hated when Loki called her Loki. When he referred to her as Loki, she more or less scoffs and she was like, don't call me that. Any other version of Loki that we have seen in any way, shape, or form would have that cockiness, where it's just like Loki said, he would have been able to more or less bait another Loki into a battle to see which one of them would be superior. The instant he tried that, immediately shut it down, and then she moved on. Like, she's super playful. You see that when she's in the body of, what's his name, Kevin? Stan? The body of the guy who works at the Rocksmart. Playful in her responses with Loki, a little bit super sarcastic, but then she also gives him like that playful wave when she goes through the portal. This would be super dope. I would love it if like we got basically the MCU version of Enchantress in the show Loki. Like, I want to see an expansion of the Asgardian mythos, because there's a lot of heroes in Asgard that I feel as though got the shaft. The Warriors 3 definitely got the shaft. I forget her name. Jamie Alexander. Sif definitely got the shaft. Her character just completely disappeared. She's supposed to be coming back for Thor Love and Thunder, and I hope they redeem her because she's one of my favorite Asgardian characters. But yeah, Enchantress. Is it Enchantress? Could it be Enchantress? It may be Enchantress. It'd be super dope if it was Enchantress. I would absolutely love if, like, this was an Enchantress that had a beef with Loki, or this was an Enchantress, because there's a lot of beef between her and Loki. He's done some shady shit. But I would, across the board, love if Enchantress was the one who showed up in this series and more or less blew the Timekeeper's little plan completely out the water. But that's the video. Do you guys believe it's Enchantress? Do you think it may be another person? Are they going to go the generic route and it really is just going to be a female version of Loki that just looks different? I kind of hope not. Like I'm hoping that this is a completely different character that can actually stay around for a while, because they have me hooked. Like, I want to see where this story is going to go. But that's it. That's the video. Peace.